What's going on, everybody? Alright, today what we're going to be doing is testing out the 300 Blackout. So we're going to be testing it out on a cinder block, test. I'm out here at the range today with my buddy Marcus. And so the first round we're using is a Cellar and Belton. This is a subsonic, so the barrel velocity is 1,060, and that's at a 16-inch barrel. Our second round is just a normal standard, the 300 Blackout, 147 grain. Our muzzle velocity coming out the barrel is going to be 1826. I'm sorry about all the firing. These guys are fucking retards. And then we have the supersonic, which I'm using the Remington UMC, and our muzzle velocity on this one is going to be 2,202 feet per second. Now, with that being said, I'm going to touch over the subsonics just a little bit. So, to break the sound barrier, it has to reach 1,125 feet per second. So, this is definitely going to fall underneath there. But what a lot of people don't know is that this round, at some point in time, will actually become supersonic. The only difference is it'll become supersonic much lower down the bullet than the supersonics will be supersonic from the very tip downward. But anyway, we're going to see what different kind of damage is done to cinder block. So we're going to get these set up, and then I'll get back with y'all guys. Alright guys, so that was a subsonic, and as you can see here, that didn't even make it through the first wall. That was horrible. Alright, so we're going to get another block set up here, and we're going to go with the standard issue, what, 147 grain, regular 300 Blackout. I don't think that was recording. Alright guys, so we got... Let me get out of the sunlight so y'all can see that. We got the bullet, went clean through the block.
Cracked the back side of it.
And it hit the backside and completely cracked out that back of it. You can see the huge deformation made right at there at the corner of the block. And it also cracked the front side of the block all the way through. So that was some pretty good damage. Alright, now we're going to go set up another block, and we're going to use the supersonic next, and we'll see how that turns out.
Entry point.
Alright guys, so here's the hole. That is much larger, and you can actually see the cracks going from side to side. So, looking at the back of it, holy shit, there's the bullet right there. This is 120 grain. No, that's just the copper casing. So it looks like there's a lot of powder back there, but it didn't damage it. Isn't near as bad as it did the other one. So the standard round, when we went to pick the block up to move it, it completely disintegrated. Like there was 4 pieces. That's the house that I made out of it. But you can see, I mean, it just separated completely. This one, it did quite a bit more damage to the front side of the cinder block. But it didn't break it up like the standard issue. So that's our results for the 300 Blackout. Up next, I think we might run some 5.56, some 2.23, and some Z-Max, just to see what kind of damage they do to the cinder block. Alright everybody, so that concludes our cylinder block test with the 300 Blackout. Since we do have a couple of cinder blocks left over, my buddy Marcus here is going to be trying out, if you can look in here, these 55 grain. So what we have here is a 556 55 grain. We've got a 223 and a 55 grain. This is a Tula. And then we have the Zombie Z-Max 223, which is going to be very interesting. It's a self-defense round. And then I also have the Jesse James 223 55 grain V-Max. So we're going to shoot these at a cinder block and see what they do. We'll get set up and get back at you. Alright guys, so up first is going to be the Tula 223 round. And this is a fresh cinder block. Alright, so that's the 223 round, Tula ammo. Did a pretty good hole. And you see it collected quite a bit of dust at the back of it, but it did not go through. Still made it through one wall of the cinder block. So up next, we're using the Z-Max, if I'm not mistaken, the Zombie self-defense round. So we'll get the next block set up and see how that works out. Alright, this is Z-Max attempt again. This time on a block that hasn't been touched. Well, the bottom half of it anyway. But it's a 55 grain Zombie Z-Max self-defense round. Alright, we see the damage. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie, for a 223 round. I am noticing that when we're shooting it, it's got more of a kick than the standard 223 round has. I'm guessing because it has a higher charge load. But this block had already been shot at a couple of times. It still broke the bottom half in half. There was no bullet on the back side of it that had been hit. Alright, so up next is the Jesse James 55 grain V-Max. We're going to get a fresh cinder block for this one. Alright guys, so this is the entrance hole of the V-Max Jesse James 55 223. Left a nice crater. Cracked the block in the front. Left quite a bit of powder on the back. But no mark to the back wall. So let's put in some 556 and see what she does.
parts of right. Yeah, he still did good. I mean, he hit it. I didn't hear what I wanted to do with that. It's an 8x8x16. So, I mean, you hit within 8 inches.
So that's our tiny hole from the 5.56. But it looked like it nicked almost the entire backside of it out. You see the powder where it hit probably tumbled and knocked the brick out the side. So that was pretty damn good. And look at that hole. Alright guys, that's all we got for you today. Stay tuned and hopefully we'll have something more interesting next week. See you guys later.